Hey everyone, this is Nick with Exploration Vans. I want to show you one of our most recent vans that we've completed last year. I've called it Tuvoo. This is a 2023 all-wheel drive Sprinter van. It's got all the normal exterior accoutrement that we like to include in all our projects. Everything from the front end protection with the CA-tuned bumper, large off-road lights from Baja Designs in both the rack, the ditch light positions, as well as the bumper, as well as a winch, because these vans are not really that good off-road. So honestly, the winch is not to get you into a sticky situation, it's to get you out of it. So really helpful. Coming around the van here, every van we build, it's really important that we integrate an agile off-road ride improvement package. It is a full suspension upgrade. So there's tons of different tiers based on how sassy you want to get. And honestly, to me, it's a non-negotiable. It is the contact between your vehicle and the road. It's the thing that affects your life in the van day to day, mile by mile. And I think if you only had a little bit of money to spend, that's where I would spend it. Otherwise, beautiful BF Goodrich tires. We've been using the HD Terrain a lot lately, and I honestly like it a little better than the KO series. So the KO2, the KO3, they're really popular. But with the HD Terrain, it's meant more for kind of, light and medium duty trucks. So it's got larger knobs, it's got a stiffer compound, so it's gonna be a little quieter on the road, and it also is gonna get you slightly better mileage. That's confusing, so I'll probably edit that out and flip with some B-roll. As we come inside the van, we've got these fantastic side steps from Paragon. I've been a big fan of the automatic steps from Amp Research just because it does increase your setup height a little bit. You're less likely to hit rocks and such, but these add a ton of protection. So if you're out there in the side country or the back country and there's a lot of rocks or brush, this is going to be really helpful protection for you. Here in the interior of this van, we've gone a little bit different than our normal interior with bamboo. We've actually gone with a lightweight marine plywood with a Fenix exterior. So Fenix is a really great high pressure laminate. We've even used solid Fenix for the countertops as well. So everything in this van is exceptionally durable, very high wear. Something we've learned over the years in these vans is all of the wear and tear is concentrated. All of your traffic is in such a small area, so finishes and materials that would work really well in a home aren't really good in a van environment. We're rubbing against things constantly, moving around people. So going with exceptionally durable finishes is crucial. We've got one of our favorite refrigerators right here from Vitrifrigo. This is the Dual 180. So it's 2 drawer style fridges that come out. You can have either 2 fridges or even 2 freezers, fridge, freezer. This fridge completely embodies the ethos here at Exploration Vans, where we're trying to create something that is really dynamic and really can evolve with you. And the same with a Swiss Army knife, where it can do a lot of things. We want your van to be really capable and really dynamic, but we want it to do a few things really well instead of a lot of things decently well. Here in this electrical cabinet, we have all of the circuit breakers. This is controlling all of the major functions of the van. Instead of having switches all over the place to turn off things like your heating system or open your ball valves, we like to use the circuit breakers, because a circuit breaker, it can do 2 things. It's not just overcurrent protection, but it can double as a switch. And it's actually ideal for circuit breakers to be exercised, to be used. It helps reduce any sort of issues with those contacts. So all of the switching here doubles as your circuit breakers. Very classy, very simple. Otherwise, we've got your Ghost security system up high. This is the same systems that are used on $1 million Class A's, yachts all over the ocean, earth roamers. We've made sure to integrate into this van as well. Wireless switching down low, so we can have one control module operate every light and vice versa. We can have 10 touchpads in a van, and instead of 3-way switching, those can control everything. So in this van, we did something really different than we've normally been doing in our last 35 vans or so. And instead of going with a fixed bed with mountain bike storage underneath, it tends to be pretty high, so it's really good for the folks that focus on gear first, comfort second. In this van, we use something called the Euroloft bed. That bed platform literally hangs by seatbelt straps and can raise and lower in the van as you need it to, but up high it's out of the way and you've got a full dinette underneath to hang out, work remotely, eat dinner with your family. And then with just a simple touch of a button, it'll drop right down. And then once it's down, resting on something that's solid, it's full strength, you can sleep on it, you can hang out, do whatever you want to. And then otherwise, with another touch of a button, up out of the way, and you can spend more time in your van throughout the day without your bed always just having to be a bed. I was trying to listen to it and figure out when it stopped.
Oh yeah.
110 outlet by the door, so you can kind of have a little folding table, use an induction cooktop. You will notice with all this counter space, there's no cooktop. I do that for a bunch of different reasons. The first is really just ease of use. I don't want to be stuck every single time I'm cooking here, oil splatter everywhere, all up the window. If I am going to be cooking something that's messy, as long as I'm in an ecosystem that supports it, I'd rather take my cooktop outside, make a mess out there, clean up, and then the van is still spotless. The second is, let's say you break the glass and over time, you can't find the replacement. There is a hole cut in your countertop that fits a single model of a single manufacturer's device. And I don't really want to guarantee that they're gonna make that forever, because I don't know. So keeping it separate, it's a good hedge. Something that I did with this fan that is pretty standard, but I really hated doing in this case, was these little chamfers. Any scenario where you're leaning over, prepping a turkey, inevitably you're gonna come up and hit your head. So this little chamfer helps reduce the chances of you ending up in the hospital. Upper cabinets on both sides. I'd really try to find the right balance between a healthy size so you can actually fit stuff, but it's not in your face while you're cooking, you're just existing. And so a decent dimension. Spice cabinet over here. This was kind of a fun necessity because I needed something for the tracks to attach to for the Euroloft. So this whole full length or full depth guy is really for the Euroloft, but instead of just making a wall, because that's for boring people, cute little spot to hold your spices or whatever other tiny itty bitty little things you got. So that's cool. Here, this is probably the largest shower I've ever built in a van. I believe this is literally 30 inches wide. And so I don't care how massive you are. You could literally be the tallest, bulkiest, strongest, most best looking person like I am, and still have tons of room. It's using this cool little Nautilus self-cleaning door. Opens, closes. In the back of the van here, we always integrate our systems. And so water on one side, electrical on the other. This is kind of a poor example because they're entire benches, but usually we try to fit everything really compact in these tiny system boxes that fit a little tighter to the wall, a little lower. And we do that by moving the water in the van underneath. So they make all these really incredible wheel well water tanks that fit up over the wheel well. And the issue I have with those is they're in the van, they take up a lot of precious liquid space, and they also are honestly just raising the center of gravity a little unnecessarily. So we've been working with a local aerospace welder to create our own water tanks that are food grade stainless steel that live underneath the van where the spare tire would go. And we tie it into the hydronic system of the van, so as the water in that tank gets cold, it starts to pull some of that hot glycol from the heating system and runs it through little heat exchangers in the bottom of the tank. And it does that until the water is back up to the set temp, and then it just hangs out. So this is a really, really cool option that keeps the water from freezing solid, but also does it in a really fuel efficient way, because if you're already running your heat, if you're already running your heated floor, it also is heating your water tank. And this is actually a really, really cool way to do this that's never been used in any mobile environment. Not on boats, not on trains, not in RVs. In no environment has this system ever been used before. Made it really tiny and put it in the tank. The best part of Tuvoo is this massive front to back design where you can walk all the way from the chairs to the door without anything in the way. Really not good for storing gear, but really, really great if you're just in the van. Here in the back, we've got our outdoor shower. So straight from the marine industry, you can pull it out, rinse off, do whatever you need to do. Really nice, hot and cold water. Euroloft Canada designs all the way on the back and all the way down the slider as well. This is a really great bug net, and it also acts as a really good privacy screen. So you can roll this down halfway when the bed is in the down position, grab gear as you need throughout the day, and you can still have someone napping and they're still private. It's a really fun example of how tall the heated floor ends up being. This is really only 1.25 inches. So when we talk about, trying to make the van as effective as possible for really any type of person, whether you're really short or incredibly tall like me, this is a good option. So you can still maintain at least, 6'3", 6'4" standing height. So this is really where this bed design, comes in handy. If you're the type of person where you don't have a lot of gear, but you know that you're gonna be spending a lot of time in your van, this is a great option. We've got the Lagoon table. This has its own dedicated little spot under the sink where it lives when you're not using it, and hooks up pretty simply. And now you've just got this great little workspace where you can sit, eat your supper, watch Heated Rivalry. Another really great aspect about the dinette area in the rear of the van is all the outlets. So each of these benches has 12-volt USB and 110-volt AC outlets. So whether you're plugging in your phone, you're plugging in your computer, whatever you need, there's a spot that's really close by. The thing that I hate most about vans often is you've got outlets really down low and they're always kind of far away. So there's power cords running across the van, they're running all over the place, and it kind of just looks really janky. So I'm a big fan of putting outlets right at the point of use so you can keep things tight, keep it clean. Speaking of outlets, I completely forgot. There's one up here too. This is a great spot in like day mode, but as soon as the bed comes down, these are blocked, and that's no bueno. So these outlets are just above the mattress height, so while you're hanging in bed, staring lovingly into your partner's eyes, you can still plug your phone in. It's ideal. Every van is different. The hardest thing about designing a custom van is the fact that you don't really know how well everything's going to work together. A van, I think of like a really complicated ecosystem where there's all of these flora and fauna and they all have to live harmoniously, but everything that you do to one affects the others, either positively or negatively. And in a van, it's the exact same way. Even when you're literally thinking about your fridge and you're looking at which fridges are on sale, which fridge can I afford, which fridge do I like, every single fridge is going to fit in a slightly different case size, and as soon as that case gets bigger or smaller, now all of a sudden your shower has to change. The shower pan you might have already asked someone to fabricate has to change. The bench that maybe fits in one specific spot might not fit there anymore. That's the most difficult thing, I think, is just playing chess and not checkers. Thinking 100 moves ahead at any given moment and knowing that anything you change, it will affect everything. Take it all very seriously and don't just be all willy-nilly making decisions because you might regret it in a month or two. I hope you liked the tour. Like, subscribe, hit all the buttons. See ya.